What's up, guys? Boogie back again. Boogie Reacts. So, guys, today I have a couple videos I'm gonna be going through with you guys. But the first one is something I've never heard of. We often hear how many men are sent to prison by judges because they fail to pay their child support, you know, maybe because they don't take care of their kids, and so on and so forth with regards to child custody and family court issues, right? But I've never heard of a woman being sent to jail because of a child custody battle. This is the first one. But no one can convince me that it's the first case. And even this video, you're going to see that this took about 3 months, maybe 6 months, actually 3 years. You see, it says 3 years. It took 3 years. No man would get this kind of you know, no man would get away with taking 3 years and not doing what the courts ordered, what the judges ordered. This woman, it took the judge 3 years just to send this woman to jail because she's keeping the kids away from their dad. But finally, we have a case where a woman has been sent to jail for refusing to let the father, see the kids. But do you know how many men out there go through this case where they have to fight, they have to go to the courts all the time to ask the judge, she's not letting me see my kids, and the judge never does anything? Or maybe in this case, the judge may say something, but then she doesn't do it and nothing happens. Without further ado, let me just play the video.
Swear or affirm the testimony you are about to give shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Saying the weekend of April 26, 2024, May 10th, 2024, and May 24th, 2024. Were you in fact denied parenting time on those 3 days?
I was.
So he is correct in the fact that Kinley has not been out for her visitation since spring break. That is primarily the choice, not only the choice, but refusal from the child to go for the visitation. The child has adamantly refused, has threatened to run away and go to my parents' house and hide if I try to take her there.
Maybe the reason the child refuses to go is because you are always telling the child bad things about the father. And also, if you keep the child away from the dad, from the father long enough, the child will think the dad doesn't love the child. So guess what? She's going to grow to resent her dad. So two things. Either the mom is always feeding bad praise, bad things about the father to the child, or over time, because the mom doesn't let the father see the child, pick up the child, but I'm sure she takes a child support. Over time, the child is going to grow up to think the dad didn't love her. So obviously, after some time, the child is going to be frustrated. It's like, okay, you never come to see me anyway, so why should I come stay with you?
She wouldn't come with us today, even into the courthouse, scared that she was going to have to go with him at the end of the session. So I had to have a babysitter arranged. More embarrassingly, she's coming into maturity and is about to start her period. She does not want to start her period with her father.
Here we go with a fake crocodile tears. I hope the judge didn't buy into this bullshit.
She would like to go through that experience with her mother, which I respect. I have no control. I have no knowledge to know when exactly that will occur. And I don't know if she's going to change her mind.
So what you're saying is then we never let her go with her father because we don't know when that's going to happen.
Absolutely not. I am totally open into any type of reunification process. I just don't think it should be abrupt and she should be expected to just resume as normal.
But it's taken you so many months to let him see the child. How can you say you're open to the child going to see the dad, but the dad literally had to take you back to court to force you to let him see his kids, and he's paying child support? Like, this is crazy.
There is obviously something triggering this immediate, yes, I'm willing to go, and now I'm not going. And I don't have a clear answer of what that is.
In this case, the court notes I went back and did a thorough review of the file in preparation for this proceeding. The court notes that back on January 5, 2022, there was an order for makeup time requiring the plaintiff to give 4 additional overnights for the 2 weekends that were missed. That on 2/8/2023, plaintiff was found in contempt of court, and there were ordered 4 overnights for 2 weekends missed. That on February 28, 2023, there was an order for makeup parenting time for 2 overnights, 1 weekend. And then again on January 26, 2024, there was an order for makeup parenting time for 2 overnights. So a total of that, we had basically 12 overnights of makeup parenting time over the past now 2.5 years.
Wow.
Reason I look at that is because the plaintiff in this case has stated that, well, she didn't know that there's basically there's something new, something has come up. She doesn't know the reasons. She's tried to encourage, and she did on closing arguments. She said she will comply with the orders, and she says she's complied with the orders until now. Well, clearly, from the prior contempt findings, the prior makeup parenting time, she has not complied with the order.
So she already failed, like the judge just said. She was in contempt of court of doing the same thing she did already. And in the title, you can see they said this took 3 years. That means she's been doing this repeatedly, but she was just being led to do it.
The court will find in this case that she has not complied with the order at the current time for these additional 3 denials and additional 6 overnights. The court will hold her in contempt. And Ms. Claywell, what I'm going to do is, this is a history. This isn't a one-time. It isn't something that's occurred, as you say, because of the child's gender dysphoria. This has happened when she was 9 years old, before any of that happened, until the current time. What the court is going to do, I am remanding you to the custody of the Calhoun County Sheriff, where you will remain until the child goes for parenting time. So however long that takes.
Like I said, guys, this is the first one. Like, shout out to the judge, man. Because for me, what hurts me is how many dads pay child support, but they pay child support, but they also have to fight to see their kids. Like, no responsible father should fight to see his kids just because he has a bitter baby mama. Like, it's not fair for the kids. Because what hurts me is because the kids suffer in the long run. The kids are going to suffer this. You know, and it will take some time for the kids to realize that all along the mom was the one refusing the dad from seeing the child. And that's if it even ever happens. Some kids never learn. Some kids never learn that the mom all along was turning them against the dad. Take, for example, the 50 Cent situation. He says he was giving child support, but the baby mom made the son to think that he was never taking care of them. So many fathers suffer. And if you even look in the comments, some women agree. You know, some women agree. So, for example, this guy says, we need more judges like him. Yes, we do need more judges like him, but the fact that this has taken 3 years, this is crazy. No man would ever fail to pay child support for 3 years or show up to see his kids for 3 years and they don't send him to jail. This is crazy. This person agrees. She's the reason why the daughter doesn't feel comfortable going with the dad, because years and years the daughter has made to feel that the dad doesn't care, but all along it was the baby mama who was stopping the child, who was stopping the dad from seeing the child. So now the daughter thinks the dad doesn't care, but all along the mom was making that possible. Right? See, this guy is saying 3 years is ridiculous, but it doesn't take 3 years to get the money. That's what I'm saying. Like, if it was child support, it wouldn't take him 3 years for him to be sent to jail if he wasn't paying child support. You feel me? Yeah, this guy is like, where are all the moms on this post? Of course, they're not going to be here because they know they do this all the time. They poison the kids against the father. Your father is bad. He doesn't want to see you. He doesn't give us any money, even if he sends child support. But that's because the kids are too young. Like I said, some kids grow up and they finally reunite with the dad, and the dad explains to them, and then they get to actually hit the mom, but the damage is already done. So that's when we talk about generational curses, so the ball goes rolling, the dysfunction, the emotional abuse has already happened, so this is going to go on. But finally, this is the first, and it may take another 1,000 years before you see a judge sending a bitter baby mama to prison just for for visitation reasons. Forget being abused. I mean, this is kind of also emotional abuse of a child because you're purposely refusing the child for seeing the dad. But it's crazy, man. What do you guys think about this situation? Should dads have to go to this extra mile to go to the courts of law just to see their kids? Or should it be a given that if a dad is responsible, he should have every right to see his kids without involving the courts of law? That's what I think it should be. Because in the end, the kids suffer. All right. Anyway, shout out to this Instagram page. That's where I got that content from. The next one, guys, we're going to be talking about this woman. She's not going 50-50. She has sexual power. Be willing to change her diapers when she gets old. She's like, I think 60, 65 right now. She was on Kendra G's show. Shout out to Kendra G. I'll be linking down below the full video down below. But let's get into it and see what she's saying.
Hey, you ready? Yes, I was sitting here and I had just turned it on. I said, she ain't gonna answer this thing. I'm sorry I got my glasses on because
I got you set up though. All new Kendra G Singles dating app. It's available now on iPhones and Android phones. Just go to your App Store or your Google Play Store and type in Kendra G Singles. You set up, good camera. Ooh, I like
oh no, I don't. Kendra, I've been on here before, like on your Facebook, about 2 years ago.
Okay, give me an update. I don't remember.
And when we were talking, I was in Atlanta at my other house. And I remember you said, when you're over 55 and you're 60, it's harder to find somebody. And let me tell you, when you gave me the numbers, I was like, she don't know what she's talking about. She's young. You were not lying when you said as you get older, the percentage of men in the 55 to up bracket of choices get smaller and smaller and smaller.
Play that back.
So when I look at you were not lying when you said as you get older, the percentage of men in the 55 to up bracket of choices get smaller and smaller and smaller. So when I look at when you interviewed me a couple years ago, what I wanted and what I needed, oh my God, if I would have chose that at the time, I probably wouldn't be with that person anyway.
Well, I will say this. What I give you guys is the depth, right?
Yeah.
So I've been doing this show for 5 years, and I always say I'm not the same person that created the show. I know so much more. Rightfully so. I'm a journalist at heart. So what I did as a journalist is I interviewed people and I collect data and share it. Before it was mainly celebrities, right?
Do you guys remember when Kendra G went to, shout out to RIP to Kevin Samuels, when Kendra G went to Kevin Samuels live and she was fighting Kevin Samuels over the same thing? Kevin Samuels always was telling the ladies, hey, listen, as you get older, it's going to become harder for you to find the type of man you want. And Kendra G was fighting Kevin Samuels over that. But it's so funny to see 5 years later that Kendra G is now preaching exactly what Kevin Samuels was saying to the ladies.
Right.
Yes.
You were right. You was on money with that.
That I collect. And then also too, I have live events.
Mhm.
And when I have live events, that's another source of statistics. And I can tell you there will be 80% women to the 20% men. It's
Mhm.
just what it is. It's a number game. This is a math conversation. Not
Yeah.
a, I'm a queen. He should pay off my bills. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm just talking
Yeah.
about math, straight numbers. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but whatever the case, I'm assuming you want to do it again.
Yeah. And you know what? And
Man, shout out to Kendra. You know, it's one thing when a man like Kevin Samuels used to say the same thing to the ladies that, hey, listen, most of you want the same kind of man, and that kind of man is a minority and rare. And they didn't believe him. But to see that even Kendra G acknowledges the fact that most women want a certain type of man and that man is very rare, it's a start of something good.
I guess the thing I got to get used to is I don't know if it's me or the younger generation. I don't know. We've been having conversations all over the place about 50-50. No, I'm not paying half your bills because you're not paying half of mine. I'm not. I don't want you trying to come for granny's checks either.
Well, I think the 50-50 thing is spoken about if you live together.
Oh, okay. Now that
Yeah.
you got your own house and you know.
No, they would say that you're each paying 100 in that scenario.
Hmm.
The 50-50 conversation comes into play if you're actually cohabitating together.
Oh. Okay.
Well, how do you feel about that? If y'all were to live together, what is your now that you know what it means, now what are your thoughts?
Child, you gotta come with your own money. I got my own money. I don't want to move in your house. You ain't moving in my house. We're gonna get a new house. You gotta come with your own money and your own checks.
So when you get the new house, what is the component you want to pay?
Um, that's where
Uh oh.
I look at it like I would never want to move into a house that somebody had in our age bracket. They're either divorced or whatever. But what I'm saying is that you would move into, you have to make choices. Like either you're going to move into somebody's house or who got a mortgage, who don't got a mortgage. It's just so many things that go into that over 50 stuff. And I always look at it like since I'm into real estate and I'm an investor that I could always grab a little house and we could just put 10 or 20,000 and we'd be good and we wouldn't have no mortgage.
Okay. All right, let's take it from the top.
She basically didn't answer the question. The question was about the fact that when you finally move into that house that she just talked about, who is going to pay the bills? Because it's not like you buy the house and then there are no bills. You have power, you have gas, you have, cable, food. She didn't answer the question. But I think for me, the answer is she wants, even at her age of 65, she wants a man who's going to pay her bills. Even if she talked about how much money she has on all this and being an investor, she still wants a man who's going to pay all her bills.
Top. Tell me your name again, honey.
My name is Burnett.
Burnett?
Hmm.
And Burnett, where are you calling us from?
I'm in Houston, but I'm from the West Coast.
Where do you live?
Houston.
How old are you again?
I am 62.
Okay, 62. What you do for a living?
Real estate investor.
Real estate investor. Do you have any
Mhm.
children?
I have two grown children.
How old are your two grown kids?
Um, 37 and 30.
And what?
And 30.
30. Both by the same man?
No.
Two men. Have you ever been married?
Yes.
When did you get divorced last?
Oh, 15 years ago.
Oh, a long time. Okay. And what's your zodiac sign?
Sagittarius.
Sagittarius. So we got Burnett, Houston, Sagittarius, 62, real estate investor. Mine are two grown kids. My two men was once married.
Mhm.
What kind of man you looking for, girl?
Before she even goes in, I can guarantee you 100%. She's 62 and two grown kids. I can guarantee you she's going to describe the same kind of man women half her age are looking for. Guess what that does? That gives the leverage to the small percentage of men they are all looking for. Because she's not going to describe an average guy. She already talked about how she's an investor, she's into real estate, she got money and all that. She's going to require a man who has money. Now he might be older, but I can guarantee you, even the younger women would prefer that older man if he's got the cash.
Girl, they got to know the Lord, honey. They got to know the Lord, and they got to have their own money. Because I'm not looking for their money. I need somebody that wants to be in love. People that want to be in love. My mama always told me if a man love you, there ain't nothing you can't have. So I ain't worried about material stuff. I got my own stuff.
Yeah, you got your own stuff, but you still got to pay bills. Ladies, I mean, she's 62. She should know better. That the whole love thing, when there's no money, there's no love. The love doesn't pay the bills.
I'm talking about somebody that got some sense and that, you know, when they get old, they're going to change some diapers. Some depends. Because when you get older, you got to think about that. He's going to help you in and out the tub and stuff like that.
So she's looking for a man who's gonna change her diapers. Sounds like she's looking for a younger man. Because if she's 62, she should look. She's probably looking for a guy who's 45 or something to change her diapers. Because if she's looking for any guy who's older, she's gonna have to change his diapers. Because he will get to the age where he needs his diapers changed before hers. Sounds like she's looking for a younger man.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody that got some sense and some tenderness. Some of y'all is like a M&M. You hard on the outside. You ain't got no ooey gooey center, man. Some of you old men that been through some things. You coming out of a divorce, or you done lost your wife, and some of you done lost your wife, and you still got the ladies' clothes in the house. That's spooky. No, I don't want to go in your house. So you got to have your mind together. Retire. You know, somebody outside that like to barbecue a little bit and shake his legs on the swing a little bit. You know, somebody like that. Somebody ain't not out in the club trying to throw it in a circle still.
Look at Kendra.
None of that throwing it in the circle if you're 60 and up. You need to settle it down, bring it on in, come on the porch and chill out. That's what we should be doing right now. Not some of y'all men out there getting them young girls and getting them young babies, and then you think that granny gonna take care of it. Not happening. Keep your little worms in your pants and find you a nice woman that wants to make you some coffee in the morning, make you some eggs and some grits and stuff. That's what you need to be doing. But some of y'all, I don't know what's going on. I don't care if you're a silver fox or whatever. I don't care what kind of fox you are. Come on in. It's cold outside. Make a decision, pick you one woman, and date in your age bracket.
So she's on here telling men what they should look for. Ma'am, you got your own standards. Keep your standards to yourself. Do not tell men what they should look for. All right? You got your standards, keep your standards. Don't tell men what their standards should be. If a 62-year-old man doesn't want you as a 60-year-old woman, that's on him. That's his choice. Maybe you should find a man who's younger. I mean, you want someone to change your diapers. A 62-year-old man is not going to change your diapers because both of you are going to be old. So you may need to find a man who's younger than you. That way, when you get to the age where you need your diapers changed, the 45-year-old man will still be strong enough to change your diapers. But don't be telling men their standards. Stick to your standards and that's it.
Okay? And then everybody be in love. Stop trying to be 60 dating 30-year-olds because it ain't going to get you nothing but a baby.
But that's their choice.
Period. That's what's wrong with these old men, Kendra. Like, I know your dad, I see you be talking about your dad all the time. Now, you know, he ain't out here trying to get him a 20-year-old.
Well, my dad told me he liked them young too. I'm sorry.
But ladies, this is just the way I believe, the way we've seen it so many times. The way women love men who have money is the same way older men love younger women. It is what it is. Men and women have different preferences. I'm not going to sit here. I'll be the last person to sit here and tell a woman to go with a broke man. Let's say I'm broke. I'm not going to tell a woman to be with me because I'm broke. Oh, you stop looking for rich men. You should want me because I'm broke. Stop looking for rich men. Women should stop looking for men with money. That's a choice. That's a preference. The same way in reverse, if a man wants a younger woman, you as an older woman shouldn't tell him what he should look for and what works for him. The same way you don't expect a man to tell you to not look for a man who's a provider and to look for a man who's broke that you're going to provide for. Fair game to me.
Nothing young too.
I just learned on Christmas my daddy would date somebody my age. So I try to tell you, Renetta, Yeah, my daddy's 77. He said he'll date somebody 45. He get along with him because my daddy at 77 got a no kid policy. I'm
Is there is
sorry.
there a is there a range that he goes?
I don't know, but I mean, I'm trying to tell you. I told you in the last time you was here.
You
Men of your
did.
age like them younger. I don't make the rules, women. I'm sorry. So
I mean, shout out to Kendra. Finally, she gets it. Women like men with money, and rightly so. That's your preference. The same way older men like younger women. That's their preference. Unfortunately, that's just nature. Women like different things, men like different things.
But
I don't make the
when
rules.
you say go younger, Kendra, like when you're in your 60s, how young do you think is young?
Listen, I'm not telling you what to go. I'm telling you what they doing. Now there's
Yeah.
some who date within their age, of course, but like sometimes their wife might have passed. But you just said you don't want nobody's dead wife's clothes in the house still.
Mm-mm. No, and he had to get knee replacements and all that stuff. Granny, I ain't there yet. Child. Granny like to do it. Granny likes to do it too. So I'm just telling you, I like to have sex still. I do a lot of sex, but I'm not gonna do it with somebody that got the PRD. Somebody
What's the
the
PRD?
penile rectal dysfunction.
Penile erector dysfunction.
Yeah,
Is
some
that different
y'all
than ED?
yes, penile rectal dysfunction.
So what is that the same as ED
Yeah,
erectile
I think that's what she
dysfunction?
means.
Yeah, similar. One of them ain't gonna work at all. The
What's
one's just gonna be like that. It ain't gonna never do nothing.
what's is that?
Okay, so if you're worried about a man who has erectile dysfunction, you might want to choose a younger man then. Because if you're saying at 62 years old you still like to get it in, I don't think a 62-year-old man is gonna please you exactly how you want it, how you want to be pleased. So, ma'am, just go with a younger man. I'm telling you, it will be worth your wait.
I just don't want nobody that's on the Viagra. Let me just say that. Let me just put it on out there.
Okay, so what is the age range you want to date? Let's start there.
I
Yeah.
think I think 52 to 62.
Okay. 52, 62,
Yeah.
still working naturally.
Yes.
Okay, so working naturally.
I mean, that's gonna be very tough to get. To get a 52, maybe 52, sure, but 62-year-old man who just has it working naturally, unless he's in very great shape. But the average man is not in shape. That's gonna be very tough to get a guy who's good in bed just like that. So that's why I say she may have to go younger.
Okay. What's some other deal breakers for Nat?
Um, just not honesty, just need the honesty and just, whatever it is. If you only got two nickels to rub together, say, hey, Granny, I ain't got but two nickels. Stand on your business. Um, just somebody that is just ready to settle down, somebody that wants to be in love. Some a lot of times people are in love with the idealism of love, but they don't want the actual work that goes into if that leads to something more serious. So
Okay.
gotta be serious about your business.
62 years old looking for
Okay.
love.
Okay.
Wow.
I don't want no problems. Should he look a certain way?
He gotta be taller than a fifth grader. Let me see.
Taller.
Like he got to be taller than a fifth grader. And no, I'm not really caught up on looks. I'm really not.
How
Um,
tall are you, Burnett?
I am 5'9".
Oh, she's
Okay.
I'm
tall.
5'9".
So should he be taller than 5'9", or your height is fine?
I would like him to be the same height as me if possible,
Or
but it's
taller?
not a deal breaker or anything.
Okay.
But
Okay.
just
Um, should he make a certain amount of money?
um, nah, I ain't really worried about money because I got my own.
Okay. Well, you said earlier you wasn't doing 50-50, and
No,
he had
I'm
to
not
have.
doing 50-50 because I'm not expecting for him to pay any of my bills and I'm not paying his. I need everybody. I mean, what I'm saying is, it's just when it comes to money, it's just different. I mean, it's you can take care of yourself and you can take care of another person. You cool, but if you know that you can't, you're making $15 an hour and you got $9,000 worth of debt, then you need to check out. You need to, take care of your dad or do whatever you gotta do.
So let me ask you this: do you plan on y'all? Do you want to live with somebody, or you want the situation where y'all live separately?
That's a good question because I asked somebody. We were talking about that the other day. Like, if I have a house, already where I live, and they have a house, and it doesn't. Yeah, I want to live with them. Yeah, but we just have to figure out the geographics.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but if you want to live with the person, then the money's gonna matter, right? Anyway, man, shout out to Kendra. This was a very interesting video. Granny, 62 years old, doesn't want to do 50-50, and she hopes you are good in bed, all right? And doesn't like men her age to date younger women. Very interesting. What do you guys think about that? All right, I'll link down below to Kendra. Very interesting video. Maybe I could go through the comments, but I'm gonna do the next video, man. This woman was speeding game. Shout out to Club Sheshe. The man is head of the household, even if the woman makes more money. She was going off. Obviously, the ladies don't want to hear this. And the ladies who make more money don't want a man who makes less money. We know that. We've seen that on social media for these last 5-10 years. But she's saying even if a woman is making more money, the man is still the leader, the head. But some women are saying once they make more money, they are the leaders. So the man has to submit to them. But Auntie here is like, nope, the man is always going to be the head even if I make more money. Without further ado, let me play.
We so used to being the man and the woman in our relationship that
we don't know how to fall back and just be the woman.
There you go. And I know how to make a sandwich. You want cheese on your sandwich? What you need? What you need? I know what to do. I want to pick up the dry cleaning. I want to do what I saw my mama who raised me and who was married to my father. I want to do what they're doing. I want to be the wife. While I go out and slay a dragon, we back to back on slaying these dragons. That's what I want.
Are you okay being the breadwinner in a relationship?
I'm not the breadwinner in the relationship. You mean any man I'm with?
Yeah.
I'm not the breadwinner in the relationship.
But would you be okay if you were?
I'm not. There's no man I know from you or he got a regular job. He work at a warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
He is the head of the household. He is the breadwinner. I will chip in as he see fit because he's the head. Now, this is the way I was raised. A lot of women not going to agree with me.
No, they ain't going to agree with that.
I'm cool if...
They can't. Matter of fact, they're going to call her a pick-me. They're going to call her they're going to attack her and they're going to call her a pick-me. Because these days we've seen on social media, women who make way more money than the guy. First of all, women who make more money than the guy, the only time they consider being with a guy who makes less money is when he's a pookie, he has like the gangster persona, or is in jail. We have seen that. But other than that, women who make more money than the average guy, they don't even see him. They look down on him. Another time they consider being with a man who makes less money is when they're way older, like 45, 55, 65, when they fail to find the guy who makes more money than them. Then they realize that, you know what, maybe my standards are kind of ridiculous. Let me try to make it work with a guy who makes less money than me. But I'm telling you, women are not going to like this. She even knows it already.
If you don't, but...
They're about to tear you up, Cheryl. Let me say
tear me up, because here's the thing. Even if I make more money, it doesn't make me the breadwinner.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't make me the breadwinner.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me the baby. What you say you want to do what? Or what you want for Christmas? You want a pony? Okay, nigga. I got you.
Cheryl, you know, like
what?
The breadwinner, normally that person has the larger voice in the relationship.
He's a man. He's going to have. This is what
I believe.
But
you got the money, you making the money.
No, this is what I believe.
Okay.
I believe I am advice and concurrence.
Okay.
He is the head of the household. Now, this is how I believe. The word did not originate with me. He is the head of households. People need to start reading Ephesians. That's what I believe. I may be strong-willed, I may make money, but I'm not the head of the household. But what I watch, my mama who raised me, and my daddy, I watched them talk on Saturday morning. And my brother Chris will tell you this. I watched them talk on Saturday morning, and they settle the differences and come out unified. I am not the head of the house. I may be an influencer, especially if this man has children.
Right.
Right? I want to make his life better and easier, but I'm not the head of the household. Even if I have access to more money. What happens if I don't have access to more money and we got to live off his money? Then we're going to be eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and fried bologna, because I love fried bologna sandwiches. And I like a salami, fried salami with the peppercorn, delicious. But if we got to live off of that, he is still the man and the head of the household.
Man, she was cooking, and that's why I let it play. Now, obviously, as a man, I like the sound of that, and I think this gives hope to all the average men. But hey, listen, we still have a few women who know even if they make more money than you, they're still going to be submissive. Because what she literally said, without saying it, that she's a submissive woman regardless whether she makes more money than her husband or not. She said the man is still the head of the household even if a woman makes more money. And she acknowledged that she knows most women are not going they're going to attack her. And they're not going to like what she said, which is a fact. Because we have seen so many times, whether it's a Kendra show, whether it's TikTok, we even have a woman who said she will never do 50-50. Instead of doing 50-50, she would rather be single for the rest of her life than do 50-50 with a man. So in other words, if the man doesn't make more money and willing to pay her bills, she would rather die single. We have seen that. If you've been in these social media streets, you've been TikTok and Instagram and all this stuff. So I expect the ladies to come for her. I mean, I checked out the comments on this post. Some women were agreeing with her, but mostly it was men. And this guy says, as a black man, all most of us want is a solid woman that we can build with. I honestly believe this. I believe a man, if a woman makes more money than her man, and she doesn't look down on him and she encourages him, motivates him rather than throw her money into his face, most men will be motivated to even work harder. Even when a woman makes more money and the man makes less, if she's a good, kind woman, most guys will do whatever it takes to still pay the bills and let her keep her money. I honestly believe that. This guy says, fellas, don't settle. There are women out there who still understand this. Real men don't take advantage of submission. And that's what I was talking about. That what she pretty much described here was she's a submissive woman, whether the man makes more money or not. Because if there's no reason a woman should be in a relationship with a man and she's not going to let him be the leader just because she makes more money, in my opinion. I mean, if you know as a woman you make more money than the man and you don't want a man who makes less money than you, just don't be with him. That way you don't have to emasculate him. I'm looking for comments from the ladies. Oh, there's a lady who agrees. She says, this is why, this is so true. This is why men don't feel valued or respected in relationships. That's true because women who make good money, they usually either they are going to look down on the man who makes less money, or two, if they get into a relationship with a guy, they are going to make him feel that he's less than and throw her money into his face all the time. Any arguments, you're broke, you can't even take care of me, what type of man are you, you're not a real man, blah 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 blah. I'm looking for other women to see what they say. Oh, we have a lady who agrees. She says, I love this. I don't care how much money I make. My man will always be the provider. I got your back, but you lead and I follow. I'm a very traditional woman and I enjoy traditional roles. Okay, we have some women who agree, but I can guarantee if I check the comments, some women may disagree. Okay, this little lady looks like she's disagreeing. I'm looking for a lady who can disagree. Uh, mm, yeah, she did mention that she had both parents. That's what this person is saying. This person says a lot of women lose out on real men because of the money aspect. It's true. Some good men are left behind because they don't make as much money as the woman. That happens sometimes. That's true. But anyway, shout out to Club Sheshe. That's Shannon Sharp's Instagram. What you guys think about that? Comment down below. All right, next. Shout out to a type of podcast. And in this one, Andrew right here was telling the ladies that they don't deserve chivalry. So he's basically saying feminists want equality, but at the same time they want traditional men. So they want men to show them chivalry, but they also want to be modern women or feminists. Let's get into it.
Girl flowers on the first date, Andrew?
I mean, I guess if he wants to. I don't really see, again, though, I don't really see why women in modernity deserve any type of chivalry. I still don't understand that. I still haven't heard a compelling argument for the idea that for some reason you deserve equality and status. It's like, that's not how that works. So I don't think so. I don't think that men should probably bring women anything on a first date, to be honest with you. I think it's a bad idea.
I'm with Michaela on this. I don't believe.
Is that how you got your wife? By not giving her flowers?
Yeah.
Who said flowers determine if a relationship works or not? And I kid you not, most guys who have bought flowers on the first date, sometimes they don't even get a second date because they come off too nice. How can you buy flowers for someone you don't know nothing about? Back in the day, the ladies used to appreciate it, but now you give the flowers to a girl, she's just gonna toss them in the trash as soon as the date ends. So for me, I don't think it matters. I don't think getting a woman flowers on the first date determines whether a relationship is gonna work or not.
W's in the chat for Andrew, and he's the only one here who's married.
Yeah.
Boom. How about that?
Yeah.
How about them apples?
Maybe if you didn't want flowers, you'd be married.
I'm
shit.
21, so I would rather not be married right now. Thank you.
I mean, it's.
Well, I mean, if you keep demanding flowers, it's going to be 41.
I never
You
demanded
have to have
anything.
cats.
I've never demanded anything. I've just had very sweet boyfriends.
What
that
are
were
your
very
cat's
kind.
names going to be anyway? Fluffy? You're going to have one named Fluffy?
I don't really think it's smart to have a cat on a boat.
Are you gonna do you think you're going to give them people names? Like Chuck? You're going to call like Chuck and Fred? You're going to give your cat people names? They're going to be people named cats?
That's a very great question. Please ask me in 5 years when I'm 26 and apparently washed up.
20? Who said 26? What are you talking about?
You're saying that because I'm 21 and not married, that's, me thinking that flowers are sweet are the reason for that. That's idiotic. That does not make any sense. I'm not saying I demand flowers. I'm saying that a gentleman that brings me
that a
flowers is
perfectly
very
good joke.
sweet.
I know a perfectly good joke can hurt your feelings for no particularly good reason, even though I'm clearly kidding. But perhaps you can take a breath and actually respond to my argument instead. So here's my actual position. My actual position is that chivalry gives women additional status that men do not receive. Therefore, if women want egalitarianism or equality, they don't deserve additional status. You see?
And
That's
what
my
do you mean
actual
by
position.
status? I understand what you're saying. I want to understand it further. So what do you mean by status?
Okay, well, men get on the lifeboats last. Men are expected to protect women. Men are expected to not hit women back. Men are expected to go to frontline warfare and combat in a draft. Women are not. The list is endless, in fact, of the statuses in which women get in society that men do not. due to this idea of chivalry, which is hundreds of years old now, which is carried over when women were given this special status in society because men had the authority. Now that men do not have that authority and women are equal, why do women deserve this chivalric status? Why do they deserve it? I don't see why they do.
So you believe that
I mean, I get what he's saying, but I'm gonna be honest, bro. No matter how feminist a woman is, how modern a woman is, how equal she thinks she is to a woman, to a man, most women, I would say 99.9%, would still pick a guy who's going to pay all the bills, who will pay for the first date, who will protect her, no matter all the other equal stuff they say. That's just the reality. In other words, they want their cake and to be able to eat it too. So, as a man who's going on dates or trying to date women, you just have to understand that. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, she wants equality with you, but the moment you say, let's go 50-50 on a date, she's going to be like, you're not a real man. And then she will ghost you. So, this is where dating becomes kind of complicated for men. It's like, do you want to be equal with me? Okay, let's go 50-50. And then she will say, no, you're not a real man. I want your provider. So I think Andrew is just saying, if you ask as a woman that you want equality, don't expect me to be traditional at the same time. So if we're going to be modern and equal, we are doing things split halfway.
kind gestures like flowers are comparable to front lines in the war?
Can you just repeat back what I said so I know that you got it?
I heard what you said. What you were saying is
Repeat
that
it, then repeat it back to me so that I know then I know you understand what I'm saying.
okay, that's
What's my actual
condescending.
position on this?
How I understood it, which you can correct me if I'm wrong in my understanding, was that you see the fact that, you know, men have a lower position in society compared to women, right? When it comes to the fact that women are not going to be drafted, that men have other, you know, issues that they have to deal with that women are kind of put back for. Women do not, you know, have to be expected to let their man first get on the lifeboat if there's, you know, a ship that's sinking. I understand what you're saying, but I don't understand how a kind action of somebody giving you flowers is comparable to the
Then why
issues
not?
that
Then
men
why
have to
shouldn't-
go
You're
through
right.
on a
So
day-to-day
then
basis.
I guess men are kinder than women if you expect that men then will bring you flowers and you won't bring them
I don't
flowers.
expect it. I do think that that is, you know, fair to say that it is a kind gentleman to bring you flowers. I can
Then
agree
it
with
would
you
be
on
a
that.
kind woman who brought
And
the
I have
gentleman the
also
flower.
brought, yeah, I've also brought my boyfriend flowers. There's
Well,
no
shouldn't you
argument
guys be
there.
Yeah, you've bought your boyfriend flowers, but we are talking about the first date. You have an expectation that a man should bring you flowers because he's sweet. What do you bring the man on the first date to demonstrate that you are a sweet person as well? That's what he's asking. He's like, if you're asking for all these things from a man, but you claim you're equal to the man, what are you bringing to show that you're a sweet person and that you're both equal?
Competing over who's kinder then, and on the
No,
first date, shouldn't the woman be bringing the man flowers to show how kind she is?
That's fair. I have done that on a first date. It's a respect thing. It's showing
Yeah, how many
respect to
times
the
on the
other
first date have you brought flowers versus you have flowers brought to you?
Okay, well,
So, you're just meaner than all the men you date, aren't you? Just say, Andrew, by my own logic, I'm meaner than all of the men I date because I don't bring them flowers and they bring me flowers. Go ahead.
There's
Yeah.
different ways to show affection rather than just gifts. You can show affection through acts of service, whether that's, you know, cooking them a meal, whether that's, you know, setting up the date itself, whether that's, you know, them teaching you a new skill, you teaching them.
But you are lying because you wouldn't want to even go on a date with a man who makes you plan the date. If he asks you for a date to go out on a date, you're expecting him to plan the date. So why are you asking you plan the date? And we are talking about the first date, not after you like him and you guys in a relationship.
A new skill. I've taken people on dates where I've taught them how to ride motorcycles or to sail or.
Yeah, but that sounds like an exchange. I thought you were talking about acts of kindness. So if you're talking about acts of kindness and not an exchange, and you say it's a very kind thing for people to show up and give me flowers, well, would it be, and it's a very kind thing if you show up and give them flowers, then why is it that more men are being more kind to you than you are to them? Can you explain that
Why
to me?
is it a competition between who's kinder? Why isn't it just
You're the one who made
somebody's
it a
quality?
competition because you said It's an act of kindness, and gentlemanly men should do it.
I
Okay,
was saying
that's
that
true.
I was saying that it was kind when men do this. You know, when men do give flowers, that is an act of generosity. That is an act of
And
generosity.
more men
that's
have brought
not-
you flowers than you brought men flowers.
Yes.
So therefore, by that logic, men are way kinder to you than you are to men.
They're
Yes?
more generous.
So do I have to
Can you
care?
answer my question? Can you answer my question?
I'm
By
answering.
your logic, if it's kind to bring flowers, and more men bring you flowers than you bring men flowers, then men are kinder to you than you're kind to men. Is that
Yeah.
correct or not correct?
Correct.
It's flawed logic.
Oh, okay.
How is it flawed logic? You said men should bring flowers to show kindness. What do you bring on the first date to show kindness? Because she's mentioning all these things she does later in the relationship. We are talking about the first date. You expect men to bring flowers, to plan a date, pay for the date. What do you bring to the first date to show you're being kind and generous? Nothing, right?
Because it's not whether or not, you know, I brought them flowers or they brought me flowers. It's them doing something that is kind towards me, right? Which, yes, in that scenario, that would be them being kinder on the first date. However, I have not dated that many men, and I have not, you know, exchanged flowers with that many men. That's not like something, oh, it's a Tuesday, I'm gonna go on a date so I can get flowers. Like, that is an evil intention to just use men for a purpose like that. Yes, have men given me more flowers than I've given them? Sure. Does that mean that I am cruel because I
I don't
didn't
know
bring
what that has to do with
flowers?
anything. You're just utilizing your metric. I'm not saying you're an unkind person.
I don't
I'm just saying
understand why
that
this is
men are
worthy of a
clearly kinder to you.
conversation.
I'm not saying you're an unkind person. I'm not saying you're mean. I'm not saying you're cruel. I'm not saying any of those things. I'm just saying that if it is the case that flowers equals kindness and kind act, and more men bring you flowers than you bring them,
Then they
then more
started
men
with
are
a
acting
kinder
kindly
act.
towards you than you're acting towards them. It's very simple.
That I can agree with. They were kinder to me in the beginning. That is fair. That is a fair assessment. Now, does that mean that, you know, what you're saying is that you started with, you know, I am crueler to men than men are to me, that men are kinder to me than I am to them. That's not a fair assumption, you know, but are you saying that they did a kinder gesture to me
No,
on a
what I'm
first date?
saying is
Then
very
yes.
simple. Is that if you demand these additional statuses in society, like men have the chivalry.
I don't demand
Gentlemanly men open my car door. Gentlemanly men will bring me
Sir.
flowers. Gentlemanly men will pay for the first
Sir,
date.
with respect-
Hang
Hold on,
hang
hold
let
on.
me
You
finish,
gotta let
please.
him finish, then you can respond.
And then
Go
I'll
ahead.
let you talk. I
Okay.
promise. Just relax. Okay, gentlemanly men will do all of these things for me, right? That's very nice of them to do all those things for you. What are you doing for them? Well, you're not doing anything because, well, that's what gentlemanly men do. So you're putting yourself at a status, you're giving yourself additional status that men don't have. And what I'm saying is like, why the fuck should they do that? That sounds really stupid. If women are indeed equal to men, why waste their time? Makes no sense.
That's fair.
And I think that's the general question most men are asking these days in the dating. You know, and I've said this before, a woman will have a list of things she demands from a man, her Prince Charming. I want him to be this, do this, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, X, Y, Z, right? But when you ask her, what do you give that man? Most of them won't know. Do you know what they usually say? Whatever he wants. It's like, no, if you know what you want from a man, you should know what you give in return. Because it's a relationship, means equal exchange, you give and you take. You know what I mean? So they have long lists of what they want from a man, but they can never name 3 things they are giving that man. Because that, I can guarantee you that man has some things he expects, but they never know those things. So I think that's what he's trying to demonstrate in this whole thing, right? It's not even just about equal this, equal that. It's more about men are asking, okay, you demand me to be 6 feet tall, to make 6 figures, pay your bills, be a gentleman, bring you flowers, plan the first date, take you out, expensive dinner date, be nice to you, protect you, provide. What do I get in exchange for all that? That's all men are asking. So some men are like, okay, looks like you're expecting all these things, but giving me nothing. So why should I do this dating thing? So some guys are like, you know what? I'm down with dating. You know, because these are, I mean, I love the conversation because at the end of the day, it's a relationship. in any relationship, no one wants to feel used at any one point in during the relationship. So this goes to both men and women. If you're going to be able to list all the things you want from a partner, be able to list the things you give in return, because the other person expects something as well for the relationship to work, right? Anyway, man, shout out to Whatever Podcast. Shout out to Andrew and Brian over here. What you guys think? Was this a fair conversation? Should men know what the women are giving to them? Is it fair? What you guys think? Comment down below. So in this next clip, man, this man is hoping and wishing that true love that's not about money comes back. But the lady said, those days are gone. Love doesn't pay bills, which I kind of agree with her. I know some of you guys can't believe that I agree with a woman, but I do. I do agree with her because love doesn't pay bills. I get it. Most of us want to be in the Disney fantasy fairy tale, love this, struggle love. We walk together, we starve together, sleep on the floor together. But honestly, that's not reality at the end of the day. Love does cost a thing. So JLo lied. Love does cost a thing. And usually for men, that's money. And usually for women, that's kindness and support to the man. So let's go into, shout out to At the Table. That's the Instagram handle where I got the video. Let's go into it.
Point in life did love become monetized? Because I remember at one point in time in life, like I was talking about catching the bus earlier, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I could be, I could love a person, like real love, man, we gonna catch the bus together. We'll sleep on the floor together. We'll sleep in the I'm being honest. That's like real love. I'm talking about real unconditional love do not come with a price. It don't come with a number. When you really love somebody, you don't even think about the real love. Don't think about the money. The money just come. The bread come. The 50-50 or whatever, 60-40 or 110 or whatever. It just come with the territory when the love is real and genuine. You don't gotta ask these questions. You don't gotta ask what kind of man you want. You don't gotta ask is we going 50-50. You don't gotta ask what kind of car we gonna drive. You don't even gotta ask what we gonna eat tonight. Real love, we'll bust down a peanut butter jelly sandwich and be happy and love each other. The problem is people not loving each other no more. People loving lifestyles. So it's like I want to love the man that can give me a lifestyle, or I want to love the woman that makes me look like I'm the man that got the lifestyle.
I agree with him, and I also strongly disagree with him. Would any man hope and wish the woman loves him for him and for who he is? Yeah. But if we are being realistic, no woman is going to love a man when he's broke and, no ambition, can't protect her just because that's how he is. I honestly disagree. Men want women who support them, who are kind. But the moment she's not kind and supportive anymore, there's no reason a man should love her. And in the same breath, if a man can't provide, is lazy, the woman is not obligated to love him just for the sake of loving him. She needs the protection. She needs the provision. So the Disney fantasy of love per person, how they are, is not realistic for both men and women. Because a relationship means both people give and take from each other. No one is going to love you emotionally if they have nothing to eat. Struggle love is not real and it doesn't last. So I disagree with him.
That's what it is. It's the idea of people thinking about how the relationship can change their life instead of just saying like, I just love you. I love you too. And we just good. Like we can go fly kites on Sundays. And you know what's crazy? it's real love out here. That is the love really that's lasting, but we don't publicize that love. And that's
No, man, no, man. The love that lasting is realistic. The love that lasts has real issues, but most importantly, those people have to be willing to work on those issues. No one is gonna love you if you're a bum and you don't work on yourself. Yeah, the woman may love you if you're still broke, but she's expecting you working hard to be in a better situation. You feel me? So it's not realistic. Real love doesn't mean just love the person who's doing nothing. Because the situation is explaining is only seen in the movies. I'm gonna be honest. And some of you men probably don't want me to say this, but it's the truth. The same way you as a man wants a woman who's going to be nice to you, peaceful, those are the things you are getting from her. Guess what? She's gonna want you and love you if she knows you can protect her, you can provide and things like that. So the whole Disney fantasy fairy tale love story is not realistic. I disagree with him.
That's why people don't understand or know it, because we don't see enough of that. We see demonetized love. And that's why we also fucked up emotionally, because we're not glorifying that kind of love. And that kind of love exists. It's happening every day. Those type of people they don't care about the social medias. They don't care about none of that shit.
I love that. And it's great. Hold on, Alan. But very poetic. If you looked at Eight at the Table in 2020, I sounded just like you. No, I'm so serious. I sounded just like you. But the thing is, we do see that kind of love. It's on TV.
I see it in real life.
It's in movies, but love isn't enough to build a relationship. It's not enough.
Why not?
I agree with her. Love's not enough to pay the bills. No one should be in struggle love. A woman shouldn't love a man just because he's a man. It's a relationship. She's gonna love you if you're doing some shit, if you're working hard, if you can protect her, not just because you're a man. It's a relationship. She gives you something, she gets something. Struggle love is in the movies. That's it. I do agree with her.
Love
To
is
build it? How love ain't enough to build a relationship?
There's so much other factors that need to work other than just love. Like, we can love each other. We could be in love.
You know what? Let me show you something. You know how Future said? You know how Future say it was the love for my grandmama that made me want to do better. Love will activate everything else in you, baby girl. Love will activate that hustle. Love, because I love you so much. Even though I love you so much that you sleeping on this floor with me, girl, I'm gonna get us off of this floor. I'm gonna give you everything in the world that you want. Or, you know what I'm saying? Love is it activates that dog in you. You know what I'm saying? If you and that person love each other, man, y'all love each other so much that y'all want to see each. I love you so much. I want to know everything about you, all your wants, all your needs, everything you want, and I want to help bring that to life. Love is more than enough to build. Love is an intense, deep feeling of affection for somebody, and an intense, deep feeling of affection for somebody can make you motherfucking do some strange things for them. Trust me.
Risk it all for them.
You will risk it the fuck off.
Hey guys, if you
Yeah, I disagree, man. Maybe because now I'm older. Obviously, I hope I'm a little bit wiser. But I believe he has watched too many love stories on TV. Like she said, the woman was absolutely right. He has watched so many movies. He's not being realistic. Every person who loves you under the condition they are getting something from you. Even the kids, even parents who have kids, they love those kids until the kids don't listen. Now, if they don't listen one time, that's one thing. But if they constantly challenge the parent, that love is gonna go. That's why parents have kids they love more. And usually I can guarantee you they don't love the kids who disrespect them more. They love the kids who respect them more. So every human being only loves someone who treats them the right way. who they get something from. That is the truth. The love fantasy in the movies, the struggle love is not real. And I'll say it. Most guys don't want me to hear it. I believe a woman should only love a broke guy if he's working something. If he's really working. Not because he's broke because he's lazy. He can be broke, but is he working? Sure, they can be in love, but struggle love me just for me, that's not realistic, because even men don't love women for the sake of it. They love a woman, first of all, she's got to look good, and the moment she stops looking good, that love kind of goes down. Funny how that works, right? I mean, I can't go through the comments. Some people would agree, some people disagree. This lady says you really have to be birthed from this kind of love to organically understand his point. No, I don't understand his point. His point is from the love stories and movies. Social media has these women in Disney fantasy land 24/7. Kinda, but when it comes to being realistic, struggle love isn't it. He dropped it by, he said people not loving each other anymore. People are loving lifestyle. That's kind of true. Now, just because I said that a woman shouldn't be with a guy who's struggling, like who's lazy, because you may be struggling but still working, doing your best, right? That doesn't mean that a woman should want a man who makes millions of dollars. No, that's the extreme. As long as the guy is doing his thing, doing the best he can do, and working and figuring out ways to be better, then by all means. One more comment here. She just swerved off course. If you're following her lead, we're gonna crash and burn. Take the mic from her. No, actually, for the first, I agree with the girl. She said it's movies, and that's the truth. We're being realistic. Like I said, a man will love a woman who looks good. The moment she stops looking good, guess what? His love is gonna go like this. Similarly, a woman will love a man who has his shit together, or maybe he doesn't, but he's working hard. But the moment he starts getting lazy, if we're being honest, her love will go like this. And that's the truth. That's being realistic. The Disney fantasy to think that people are going to love each other when they're both not doing their best to be good for their person is not realistic. You know, but maybe I'm tripping. What do you guys think? Comment down below. That's today's live, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.